Hello, everyone. Welcome to yet another Brummet's YouTube video. Today, I'm going to be offering 5 more business tips that are really going to help you out and standing out among your peers like a purple snowflake in a snowstorm. You know, I had to get that in there because of our book title, Purple Snowflake Marketing. Now, you can find out more about Dave and I at brummetmedia.ca. I encourage you to do so. This today is going to help you with your communications in particular. Whether you're querying a member of the media or you're communicating with a supplier or a potential customer, all of your communications are representing you and your business. Now, if your staff is doing the communicating, you're going to want to make sure that you have a very good in-house policy set in place. Some of these tips are going to help you in that regard. First of all, and I was asked this just recently, is it okay to be tenacious in our communications? Yes, is the short answer. Long answer is if you're polite and respectful about it. So let's give an example of this. So let's say a period of time has passed since you sent a query out to Mrs. Blogger and you haven't received a reply and you're wondering if it arrived. Maybe it's in her spam box. Maybe it got lost in the mass of messages that she had coming into her inbox possibly, or maybe she noticed it, but she forgot about it or didn't have time to deal with it. Maybe she's out of the office because of vacation, or she's in grief, or maybe she's ill, or maybe she's just taking a break for a while. So should you write again? Yes, but there's a couple things that you want to do beforehand. So first, you want to give your mailbox a really good scan through, especially your spam and trash folders, and make sure that you don't have any communications that were accidentally missed somehow in that regard. Also, pay attention to your social networking message centers, your texts, things like that. Look for your friend requests folders and also spam folders in those social networking communication centers like Facebook chat or whatever. And so you can find out if these individuals have made an attempt to reach out to you, but you just didn't know it. So that basically eliminates any responsibility on your end of things before you reach out and say, hey, I haven't heard from you. Okay. So once you're sure that you haven't had any response and a period of time has passed, let's say you're dealing with a query situation for a press release and you haven't received a response, it's been about 3 months. So you're interested, you want to check and see if Miss Blogger is still active first. If she's had any recent posts on her blog, if there's been any recent activity on her social networking sites or other social media places like YouTube. If there's recent or relatively recent activity there, you know she's still, the business is still alive, it's still active. Perhaps the business is on hiatus because, like I say, she's on vacation. Maybe he's, there's been a passing in the family and they're away for a while because of a funeral, or you never know what's going on in their lives. So you want to make sure that you give them space and try to have respect for that. But also, when you reach out, there's a second thing that you might want to consider before you say, hey, did you receive my query? Is you might want to look at, say, their blog or their newsletter or website or whatever that you happen to be querying with, and you notice that there's something interesting there that sort of ties into what you do in some way, and you can maybe respond to that. You can say, oh, I saw your interview with Mr. Ken, who was talking about green plants, and we happen to run a nursery, and I would love to expand on his topic by speaking about these aspects of it, especially around this time of year, because this and this is happening. So you're showing them that you're timely, you're going to be interesting, that you've paid attention to previous guests, that you're that you are organized, efficient, effective as a business. They're going to want to work with you just by showing that you've done this kind of research and tweaking your query letter maybe in a slightly different way and seeing if you get a response from that. Sometimes it's their in-house policy not to respond to queries that they're going to deny. They just don't bother because there's so many, they don't have the time to respond to them. So they just make a general in-house policy. We don't reply to queries. So unless we're going to work with them. So in that case, sending a second query prior to questioning them if they received it might be the best thing to do. Just a couple of things to keep in mind, depending on the type of communication that you're going to be using. Now, secondly, we're going to want you to make sure that you're using your correct grammar and you're using full sentences. No small case I's, no partial sentences, no broken sentences. Use correct grammar, correct punctuation. You can use a relaxed language. Don't get too relaxed. You're not talking to a friend or a buddy here. You're using your business language. Put on your business hat. How you represent yourself and your business, whether you are online as Lillian Brummet or I'm online as member of, owner of Brummet Media Group or manager of Brummet's Conscious Blog, whatever hat I have on at the time, I'm always using my business language because it represents me and it represents my business and it represents my husband and any staff and any people that we network or collaborate with as well. So I want to appear in the best business-like way that I can be. Okay. So make sure that that's part of your in-house policy when it comes to communications. Make sure that it's also part of your policy to make a point of in every communication that you're gracious, you're kind, you're supportive, and you're using very generous words. I really enjoyed the project that we did last time. Your follow-up skills were really inspiring. It's something that I hope to attain in my own business life. I'd love to collaborate with you in the future. See what I'm saying? So you have these kind and supportive and gracious wording and mean it in your communications. It's important that you mean it. Also express gratitude and appreciation of the time. Even if all you do at the end of your communication is say, in appreciation, Lillian. Sincere gratitude, Lillian. This really makes a difference in the communication that you're having with them. Some people don't even sign off. They don't even bother saying, George or whatever. They just depend on their signature. Maybe they don't even have a signature. They're just closing the communication. And that is actually quite an unprofessional. And it makes the person who's receiving it feel like they're not worth your time, your extra effort to put out something nice for them. So do that, go to the extra effort, make sure you have that in your standard responses to people and mean every word. Say thank you, be gracious, be appreciative of their time. Responses to comments or communications as soon as possible. That's got to be part of your policy as well. Everybody, we all know that we have heavy days, heavy schedules, but you got to get on those communications you got to be on top of them. Make sure that you're looking in your spam folders, your message requests, your friend requests. Make sure you're looking through your social networking and social media comments and communications as well, and make sure that you respond to them. Glance through those online media appearances as well, and make sure that your own blog comments have been responded to too. And by doing this, anybody that you've collaborated with on any of those projects or about to collaborate with on any project, they're going to look at stuff that you've previously done. They're going to look at your online presence and they're going to see that you're a very communicative, efficient, organized, easy, appreciative person, they're going to want to work with you. Okay. So this is why these tips are so important and will have a profound impact on the quality of the relationships in your business. Thanks everyone for joining us today on the Brummet YouTube videos. Again, find us at brummetmedia.ca, or just look in the write-up for the video there, and you'll see a link which will take you to a list of places that are the most relevant, I feel, of where we can be found online as well.